Hey YouTube, got a new video for you today. This one is going to be a little bit different than some of the other videos I've done in the past. I generally try to give you my thoughts and impressions of the books after I've had sufficient time to read them and get an idea of their content. These books are a lot more intense, and they are true grimoires. So they're not just some kind of historical take or a series of essays. Again, I enjoy those, reading those, they're probably my favorites, but having an actual grimoire that you can work from in this day and age is very much welcome, in my opinion. So I wanted to give you an overview of these books, mainly because they are gaining tremendous popularity, even though a lot of people, myself included, up until recently, may not have known really what the content is about. So I wanted to give you a look at these two books, the first two in the series, and some of my initial impressions. For those of you who don't know, the Book of the Black Dragon has been out for some time, a couple years at this point, I believe. This is the second edition, which is just now shipping. Some of you may have just gotten your copies. Some of you may be on the fence about ordering it. I would certainly recommend ordering it because the first edition sold out very quickly. And the second edition seems to be following in those same footsteps. The book is very well made. It's very light. It's a thin, like cardboard type cover. They are a little bit pricey for the construction, but you're paying for the content, and there is a ton of content in this book. Now, I will give a disclaimer that you can see there the second printing, 2021. I will give the disclaimer that I have spent a little bit of time with the Azosha by Three Hands Press, and Warzone Publishing. I'm trying to remember which one I had, but anyway, this book has some inspiration, quite a bit of inspiration from it. Now, the Azosha is regarded as one of the greatest modern day grimoires. Personally, it was so dense, and without a teacher available to me, and with no introduction or background, I didn't get very much from it, unfortunately. This book is, as you can see here in the reference to Andrew Chumley, it's kind of hard to say. It's not really a partner book, but it has a lot of inspiration and connection to the Dragon Book of Essex, or the Book of Essex and the Book of the Black Dragon. There's that connection there between the two. And the thing I like about this, the reason I mentioned the Azosha is because it's before the Dragon Book of Essex, and the Book of Essex is said to be even more dense than the Azosha. So I bring all this up to say that if you're worried about the content or being able to work this grimoire, this section here in the contents gives you some really good information. It doesn't just jump in there into the middle of practice like some of the other big name grimoires do. It gives you the preface, it gives you the intentionality in the dirt track road. The dirt track road essentially being the method of travel while you're in the void. The Black Dragon being that void, the void that is beneath us, outside of the physical realm and underneath everything. And that dirt track road is that bare raw system that you'll be working to travel and work with these spirits and get their knowledge. Now, I personally am at the point of empowering the apotropic chamber vessel. That's the vessel that you're going to use as a bastion, as a decoy, as a effigy to attract and deter spirits. that may wish to do harm. There are methods of protection. There's no magic circles because the author states that you do not need any kind of physical attachment to distract you or potentially break the connection to the void realm that you're trying to communicate with. But there are methods of communication and protection, this vessel being one of them. And then it talks about the ritual space, and then you actually get into some of the actual working. And then it has the 12 axioms that you'll work through. And you'll notice a lot of the art is very similar to some of the work and some of the sigils and things you would see in Chumley's books. Beautiful, beautiful art. But yeah, that kind of gives you a general idea. And again, I would really recommend when you go through and read it, really take your time with the introduction. Again, he gives a lot of information on that dirt track road. I just gave you a brief, a few second summary of it. The threshold and the vessel. Now, I'm working with the Hecateon, so I don't really want to do two at the same time at the moment. That may change. So I've kind of put a bookmark in there for now, and I definitely want to continue the work and see where it goes. Now, a little bit more background on this series of books. This is volume 1, and this is the first codex. After each volume, there's going to be a codex released to kind of expand on what was talked about in the first book. This is a first edition 2021. And the email just went out that later at the end of this month, there's going to be the pre-order for volume 2 of the Book of the Black Dragon. So certainly keep an eye out for that. Now, the Book of Aberrations gives you some information. It's really just a book about all these different aberrations, their sigils, and this is not a book in any way for reading or relaxing. This is purely, it's not a table or it's kind of hard to describe. It's a companion for the Book of the Black Dragon. I don't really want to say reference book because that kind of gives the connotation of it's just tables and graphs and things like that. This gives you full information on all of the spirits and to maybe help you figuring out which ones you may want to work with. Again, this is my 3 or 4 days introduction to the system impression. So some of this may be corrected in the future, some of this may be expanded on in the future, but that will probably be months from now. So I wanted to show these books while they are still available, while they're being released, and kind of give you an idea, see if it's something you might want to get. If you get it if you're in the US, like I am, you can get them from Miskatonic Books. I think they're about 130 each, and you can also get them directly from the publisher. I think it's a few dollars more with shipping, but they will be signed. So it kind of depends on how you want to do it. But hopefully by the end of the year we'll have volume 2, and then maybe in mid next year, into next year, it all depends on the transmissions received by the author, but maybe we'll get Codex 2 as well. So hopefully you found this interesting, and I definitely want to thank everyone for your support. We're coming up on 800 subscribers on YouTube, and we've got over 1,100 followers on Instagram. So I definitely appreciate the audience. These videos are not monetized. It's just to help share that information, and I would greatly appreciate you recommending or sharing this content with your friends. And thanks for watching.